Hello everyone, and welcome to the land of Matt and Jazz. And we're going to do a quick update today of the land. And I know it's been a while, so hopefully there's quite a few things to see. So we're going to start at the bridge, which is right there. And that way you might have an idea of where you are. So that's the front gate of the property, and there's the bridge, which is still intact. And we're going to take you for a little tour. Just a quick update of what's going on. So I'm going to walk this way, and the other day we got a truckload of gravel and got it delivered by the front gate. We couldn't get it driven up here because a big truck won't fit. So we put gravel on half of our roundabout, including this bit here, going that way. And half of it is not covered. And it looks pretty good, to be fair, I think. This side was getting pretty muddy, although it was, I mean, it's nearly the end of winter now and we could still drive round without any problems. But it was getting pretty muddy, so we put the gravel on this side. This side doesn't seem to have got too muddy, actually, interestingly. So that's why we left this. And eventually, when we have enough money, we'll get another gravel truck and top that side up. Yes, so keep going. What's been happening? Yeah, we've got a whole heap of plants here. They're all a friend's plants, and they're gonna use our garden to put some plants in. I won't go too much into that. That's their bed there. And the other week, me and Jazz got a few loads of compost from the local dump, where they make compost, and it was $15 for a ute load, which is crazy cheap. And we put the compost on some of our beds. There's another one, that's mine and Jazz's bed, and another one down there. There's not too much growing at the moment because it is the end of winter. It's been really wet, super wet. So I think a lot of plants have struggled. Brindle is appreciating the gravel. Can finally lie down wherever he wants without getting wet. And there's another bed. This is the bed that Jazz's idea, to do it under the ropes, to make use of that space that you wouldn't otherwise use. Looks good, actually. Gets a lot of sun. And the other day we got a couple of ute loads of wood chips. Well, actually Jazz got them, and we've put that on all our paths, or some of our paths, and it's great because when it rains we don't get heaps of puddles everywhere. And we've put it all over this section here, and it looks pretty good. I don't think that little makeshift bench was there last time, but we needed that bench just because when visitors came they had nowhere to sit, and also obviously I sit there and Jess sits there. But yeah, this wood chip's awesome so far. No puddles, no mud. Still got a bit of gorse left. Well, actually we've got heaps of gorse left. I still have to just chop it up and bring it here. So the gorse has brought us all the way through winter without any troubles. And yeah, so I'll show you my latest project, which I don't think anyone's seen. There's Jazz.
Hello.
We have a bed.
Dun, dun, dun.
Have we done a video with the range? Probably
Only
not.
photos, I think.
Okay, so this is how our house is looking at the moment. Yeah, so that was the latest project. I literally put that in yesterday in the house, and this is our bed. Just to get us off the ground, and the wood is all native wood. It was cut down by the local electrical company, so it was already felled, and I just made use of the wood and Here's the backboard. That black wattle there is supplejack, which grows in our bush. It's a type of vine. And then the stuff up there is called cahicatea. And yeah, looks pretty cool.
How long did it take you to make?
It took me about a week to make, on and off. Yeah, there's no like screws or nails in it other than the slats, just to keep the slats on. But everything else is there's mortise and tenon basically. It's not the best job. I need to hammer that in further. There's no glue or anything like that, and that's because the wood is still fairly wet, so it will shrink. So I need to allow it to do what it wants, and then I'll secure it up. But it's pretty solid. I mean, you can't wiggle it or anything. There's the range. This thing has brought us through winter, and it's awesome. The oven's amazing, and we have roast veggies whenever we feel like it, and sometimes Jazz bakes bread and cakes and things of that nature.
And we dried some bananas recently, and they turned out pretty well. Some of them we left in a bit long and they burnt, but yeah, we got a whole bunch of bananas, and we thought, what are we going to do with these? So we dried them in the warming oven in here, and we put it on a tray, and then all the juices dripped down, but we caught them, and then it was sort of like this gooey toffee goodness. Yeah. That's my 2 cents.
You're hijacking
Carry
the
on.
video now.
Yeah. Carry on your way.
Okay. Yeah. So the range has been awesome. It's pretty thirsty on wood. I have a theory that if it was better well insulated around the actual range itself, it might burn less fuel or stay hotter with less wood. We don't keep it burning all night because we're not in during the day normally, so it would literally be hot during the day for no reason. So we just keep it going at night and then let it go out when we're asleep basically, and it stays hot for hours because it's cast iron and whatnot. Okie dokie, I'm going to go... No, I have to put my gumboots on first. Oh, yep. Okie dokie. I'm just putting my boot on. There we go. Okay. Oh, yeah, worm farm. Alright, let's go this way. So we thought we'd make a worm farm using a bath, which is a popular thing to do. And we got this bath for, oh, it's free actually, we didn't pay anything for it. And we've been getting food scraps from the local veggie man, and yeah, underneath here is a whole heap of food scraps. And we've just introduced some compost worms into them, so hopefully within a month this will be full of worms. I'll have to update you on that and see how it goes. And then it's kind of tilted a bit so that out the plug hole we get worm juice. Not very full at the moment, but yesterday it was up to here. So it just keeps dripping worm juice out basically all by itself, and yeah, normally get about half a bucket full every day, and then you can put that on your plant as a fertilizer. So that's one of our plans for gardening anyway, and to get rid of food scraps. Yes. Okay, let's go this way. Alright, so the driveway's looking pretty sweet now, I have to say. So this is where we got up to. This is literally about halfway around the roundabout, and that's where the mud begins, but it's not too bad here. It was a lot worse where we've gravelled over. And yes, that's the roundabout. And my long-term plan was to build a driveway going up this way, and that's what I've done. So this road will take us eventually to our permanent house, Everyone keeps asking if we're going to live in this forever. No, that's temporary. We're going to build a permanent house in that direction, further into the property, because where this is, you can see the edge of the property right there. Bloop, there. So it's not much point in owning 60 acres if you're just going to perch on the edge of it. So anyway, this was one of the muddiest parts of the property, because I'm not really sure why, but it just was. So we built a road. There's the edge of the road, and we filled basically this whole big muddy patch. It went from there all the way to there. I'd say that's probably a 10-meter expanse maybe. We filled the ruts in with really big rocks, and we've covered all the rocks. Well, there's some of the rocks there. We've covered all the rocks in gravel. This gravel we didn't buy in. This gravel is off our property, and we got that from a giant hole which I've dug, my little quarry. And basically all of this area is covered in gravel. The surf is on it now, and you can see where it goes up to about there. And it's pretty thick. I mean, you can see how thick it's laid. I'm sure no one cares about gravel watching this video, but to me gravel's like the only solution to mud. And this is the giant hole I've been digging. And yes, I need a ladder to get out of the hole now. Got a little bit carried away, but it's free gravel, so if you dig for it, you can have it for free. This is the beginnings of our food forest. So this was all gorse. It basically all just looked like that. Sorry about the sun. And we've felled a small portion of it, and we've planted fruit trees dotted around this section. We've got 2 avocados, 3 plums, 2 feijoas, and I think that's it at the moment, but we will get more trees in, and it's the start of our food forest. And yeah, so that's that. And the other big project that I've semi-finished is the workshop. And this was built, took me about 3 weeks to build, I think. She ain't pretty, but she does the job. So that the whole point of that was a carport, but it's really just it's just a space I can work out of the rain. And so I'll take you inside. We got a whole bunch of these windows. The rest of them are over there. Bloop. We got them for free from a pub that was renovating a outhouse area. And here's the workshop. So this is obviously where I made the bed, and you can tell from all the wood shavings on the floor. And I finally got a place to put all my tools out of the weather, because everything was getting rusty, and it was breaking my heart to see all my tools get rusty. And finally I can hang them all up, and everything's reasonably tidy-ish. Eventually I'm going to have a stove here, a little rocket stove, and the chimney will go up through the roof. And one day I'm going to have a proper woodworking bench right here, but that's not the priority at the moment, so I won't worry about that for now. But I've got a mini vise, and it's cool. It's been awesome. I mean, when you don't have a space to get out of the rain and work, places like this become amazing, because you would never think something like this would be awesome. So all of the corrugated iron or roofing iron on the actual roof itself came from a place in Hokitika, and it's all second hand. We bought the whole lot for $60, $1 a meter, and the sides were from that pub, which we got for free. We got those for free. and the rest of the bits of roofing iron and stuff on the sides, and that's all from our property. We just found it lying around the place. So Jazz bought a box of nails and I spent $60. So I think we spent $80 on this building, mainly because roofing screws are really expensive, but I found heaps of roofing screws in a skip, like hundreds of them, and I didn't have the gaskets for them, so we made gaskets out of an old rubber ball, so that was free. Okay, so that's the carport and the workshop, and we'll just keep going this way, I guess. Right, so this is where we've got up to the gravel, and I've moved all that gravel with those 2 buckets. And everyone says to me, oh my god, what a lot of work, it must be so hard for you. No, not really. I enjoy this. This is my own property and I'm investing, you know, my time in my own property. If I was doing this for someone else and I wasn't getting paid very much money, I'd hate it. But I actually quite enjoy doing it, so it's fine. Working hard's good. It's better than sitting at a desk, in my opinion. So this will all have gravel on it eventually one day, this little road. And this is, yeah, it's getting muddy. I've only driven through that twice and it's already turning into a swamp. But winter's been really wet, some serious rain. Hasn't been too cold though. Everyone always asks us, is it cold where you live? And not really. It's not, I wouldn't say it's as cold as where I lived in England. And it wasn't even particularly that cold where I lived in England. So anyway, yeah, this is where we're going to build our house. So I just came down that road. Sorry about the sun. And this is the area I've cleared to build the house on. Now the reason I've chosen this is because, one, you can't see it from the road, and 2, it's sheltered from at least 3 sides. There's bush all around here, and I've lost count, let's just say 4, maybe it's 3. Anyway, that's like a knoll, so it's literally like a mini hill, so it slopes down the back there and down that way, so drainage will not be an issue for this area, which is great because on the west coast we have to worry about drainage for everything. And when it comes to your building, you want your house up and out of the mud and the rain and the water, and this is ideal. It's like a small knoll, so the highest point of this area will have the house on it. I won't go into too much description on what the house is going to look like yet because it's going to be a bit complicated, but yeah, it's a small area, but I can see it working. And we cleared all the way to the back here. This is going downhill now a little bit. Yeah, this is downhill. And this was our duck pen, and we surrounded the whole pen with corrugated iron that we found on our property. It's quite big. There's a stream that runs right through the pen. That's why we chose to do it here. There are no ducks in here at the moment because they kept escaping. So I got fed up of chasing after them, and I clipped their wings and everything, and they still managed to get out, and I still can't figure out how they got out. But anyway, I decided just to leave the door open for them, and what they do is they go out and cruise around in the bush over there, and then they come back, and in the morning they're here waiting to be fed. So yeah, where shall I go now? Okay, I'm gonna go this way. I'm going to go across the duck pen, and the reason I'm going to do that is because before winter I cleared up like quite deep into the property. Everywhere I've walked through so far with you used to be a paddock, just grass for grazing for cattle. And this point here, this is a fence. That's still my property. That's all native bush in there. It's hard to see, obviously. And on this side of the fence was a paddock, and it's all covered in gorse and manuka. So you'd never know it was a paddock. So this fence actually runs all the way around in a complete circle. And it's a large paddock. It's probably about 2 or 3 acres. And I cleared all the way up one side of this fence line. So I don't know if I should walk up there with you. Maybe another time. It's about, from here to the end, it's probably about 100 meters. And my plan is to clear, well, I've already cleared up to that corner. And then I'm going to clear all the way to that corner, which is way over there. And then I'm going to slowly clear across the paddock until I have a paddock. And I'm going to leave the native trees. And then way in the future, I'm going to have some animals running around like goats, and I quite like some geese, and we're going to dig a pond out in the middle, and it should be pretty cool. That won't be for a few years yet though, because I've still got to build a house and build roads and things of that nature. But I think we've made a fair amount of progress from when we last saw you. There is one last thing I will show you actually. So we'll just walk up this way, and this is again the knoll. So the top of the highest point is about there, and then everything kind of slopes down from that point. And I've already got new batteries for the solar panels, but I have another solution for power, which I'm intending to do reasonably soon. And it's through here. I cleared this literally the other day with the chainsaw. Yes, I got a chainsaw. I'm contributing to the emissions of the world now. I feel very guilty. Okay. And I'm going to go through this way. We're going downhill now. Probably can't tell that on the camera. Cleared all the way through here. And we come to a little stream. Now, it's been a really sunny couple of days. Oh, go that way. Hopefully you can see that. So there's the stream just here. And when it rains, this thing really hoons. There's probably about 5 times the amount of flows you can see there. And the reason this is useful is because there's a fairly steep drop from way up there down to where the stream carries on. You can't see it because everything's covered in gorse. And my plan is to build a hydroelectric turbine using a washing machine motor. I've already got the washing machine for it and the motor. All I need to do now is clear up the stream and figure out exactly where I need to start the pipe for the turbine and end the pipe. And then that will become my power source when it's been raining, which it rains a lot here, so that's a resource that I can use to create electricity for me. And if this stream isn't good enough, there's actually another stream about 10 meters in that direction. They converge somewhere over there. I can't show you, it's all gorse. So one way or another, I will be hooking up hydroelectric to the house that I'm going to build, and every time it rains really heavy, or just rains at all, I'm going to be really happy, because that means I'm going to have basically unlimited power, because the turbine will be running really strong, and yeah. And then if it's not raining, it'll be sunny, hopefully, and then I'll get power from the solar panels. So win-win. Hopefully it works. I will keep you updated on that. Oh, there's a bird. That's a tomtit. See how close I can get. Hey buddy. There it goes. Anyway, that's it. That's the progress on the property. Hopefully that's given everyone a good idea of what's going on here. This is as far as I'm going to clear into the land for now. My main purpose is to get this road completed and build a house. Hopefully that will be done by the end of next year. And all of this will be a paddock one day in the future. But that's going to be a while before I get to that point. But yeah, so you're all updated now. So thanks for watching. Like the video. And goodbye. Thanks.